The date is March 2nd, 2026. As you sit in the comfort of your home, the geopolitical tectonic plates beneath our feet are shifting in a way we haven't seen since the 1940s. The headlines are screaming about missile strikes over Tehran. And for the first time in history, the strategic closure of the Strait of Hormuz is no longer a threat. It is a reality. But while the mainstream media feeds you recycled footage and surface-level panic, there is a deeper, much more calculated war happening in the digital ether. This is the war of the invisible general. Welcome to the true era of Palantir, PLTR. For over a decade, the skeptics and the short sellers called this company a black box mystery. They complained about the lack of transparency, the eccentric nature of CEO Alex Karp, and the confusing, almost alien structure of its software. But today, as the S&P 500 experiences a brutal Black Monday sell-off, the mystery is solving itself in real time. Palantir isn't just a software company. It has become the fundamental operating system of the Western defense shield. Think about the complexity of today's battlefield. How does a drone in the middle of a sandstorm in Iran know exactly where a mobile missile launcher is hidden? It's not just a camera. It's the seamless integration of trillions of data points, satellite imagery, intercepted radio frequencies, thermal heat maps, and even real-time social media sentiment, all processed in milliseconds. This is Palantir's Gotham and AIP, artificial intelligence platform, in its purest, most lethal form. We are talking about God-eye view capabilities that make traditional warfare look like a game of checkers. The classified leak we are discussing today isn't a single stolen document. It's the global realization that the US Pentagon and the IDF have effectively outsourced their strategic thinking to Palantir's algorithms. While the enemy is planning for today's attack, Palantir has already simulated 10,000 versions of tomorrow's counterstrike. This is why, despite the market bleeding red and retail investors panic selling, the institutional smart money isn't flinching. They know that in a world of kinetic warfare, the company that owns the data owns the victory. If you are looking at the ticker symbol PLTR and seeing just another tech stock, you are looking at a 20th century map in a 21st century war. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand why Palantir is the only hedge that matters when the world is on fire. Now let's peel back the curtain on the Wall Street machinery, because this is where your portfolio is won or lost. Why is Palantir sitting on a massive multi-billion-dollar cash mountain with zero debt, while other tech giants are scrambling to restructure and lay off thousands? It's called the intelligence monopoly. In this second part, we are breaking down the two most powerful forces driving PLTR to a $1 trillion valuation: the S&P 500 supply shock and the corporate survival protocol. First, let's look at the supply shock. When Palantir was finally admitted into the S&P 500, it triggered a massive, irreversible chain reaction in the financial markets. Trillions of dollars in passive index funds, money that belongs to pensions, 401s, and global ETFs, were legally mandated to buy PLTR shares. They didn't buy because they liked the stock. They bought because the algorithm forced them to. But here's the kicker. The long-term diamond hand investors and the massive institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard are not selling their positions. This has created what we call a liquidity vacuum. There are simply more buyers than there are available shares on the open market. When you combine this supply shock with the sudden surge in defense spending due to the Iran-Israel conflict, you create the conditions for a vertical price explosion. But it's not just about missiles and soldiers. Look at the corporate contagion spreading across the globe today, March 2nd. As the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, global supply chains are snapping like dry twigs. Oil is skyrocketing, and shipping costs are tripling overnight. Global CEOs are in a state of absolute terror because their old, slow databases cannot handle a world of this magnitude of chaos. They need an AI brain to reroute their logistics, manage their skyrocketing energy costs, and predict their inventory needs in seconds, not weeks. This is why Palantir's bootcamp strategy is seeing an explosion in demand that Wall Street analysts still haven't fully modeled. We are seeing Fortune 500 companies integrate Palantir's AIP in just 5 days, because for them, it's no longer a luxury, it's a survival protocol. Every commercial contract Palantir signs right now is a sticky contract. Once you run your entire billion-dollar enterprise on Palantir's foundry, you can never leave. You are effectively renting the intelligence of your company from Palantir. This is the ultimate cash flow machine. While the paper hands are selling their shares because they're scared of the headlines, the dark pools are showing massive multi-million-dollar block trades being executed by institutional whales who know that the fog of war is the best time to accumulate wealth. We have reached the final hour of this analysis, and this is where the alpha, the true profit, is separated from the noise of the news cycle. The bears and the critics will point to the PE ratio and scream that Palantir is overvalued. They said the same thing about Amazon in 2001. Google in 2004, and Tesla in 2019. They are trying to value a sovereign intelligence company with the metrics of a 1990s retail store. You cannot put a traditional price tag on the infrastructure that protects the free world's security and economy. As we move deeper into the volatility of 2026, the network effect of Palantir is going to become undeniable even to its harshest critics. Every tank, every hospital bed, and every oil tanker that gets managed by Palantir makes the overall AI smarter and more efficient. This is a winner-take-all market. There is no second best in AI warfare or AI logistics. You either have the invisible general on your side, or you are bringing a wooden shield to a nuclear fight. The volatility we are seeing on our screens right now, the sudden 5% dips and the 10% swings, that is nothing more than a market tax on the weak-minded and the uninformed. The big institutions love this volatility because it allows them to steal shares from the fearful at a discount. But look at the hard data. Palantir's revenue is accelerating. Their margins are expanding to record levels, and their role within the US government is now considered permanent. We are witnessing the birth of a new kind of conglomerate, the digital defense giant. If you are holding $PLTR tonight, you aren't just an investor, you are a war chest holder. You are betting on the only company that was literally designed to thrive on chaos. While other companies need peace, stability, and low interest rates to grow, Palantir was forged in the fire of the storm. The more chaotic the world gets, the more indispensable Palantir becomes. That is the most powerful hedge an investor can have in the year 2026. So here is my final challenge to you. The invisible general has made its move on the battlefield and in the boardroom. The data is on the table for everyone to see. The smart money is locked in and waiting. Are you going to be the one who looks back 5 years from now and says, I should have bought more during the 2026 crisis? Or are you going to be the one who watched from the sidelines while others built generational wealth? I want to see the elite in the comments tonight. If you have the vision to see past the smoke of the Iran-Israel conflict and you're holding for the trillion-dollar mission type PLTR warrior below, let the world know that the diamond hands are still in control of the narrative. If this deep dive gave you the conviction you needed to navigate this red market, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with one person who is currently panicking. We don't trade on fear, we trade on data. I am monitoring the invisible general 24/7. Stay sharp, stay focused. I'm out.